All right, quiz 7. All right, so what we're doing here is we're adding and subtracting equations. So the first one, this is number 19. I think it's like chapter 8, 8.1 or 8.2. I think it's 8.1. So this is number 19. X plus y equals 1. X minus y equals 3. All right, now this is just an addition problem. All right, basically all we're doing is trying to add these things straight down, and basically we're trying to solve for one of these variables. All right, an x or a y in this case. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a line underneath. Right here I have positive and positive. All right, I can't really get rid of an x because they're just going to add up. But here I have a positive y and a negative y. Those are going to cancel out, and it's going to leave me with x, which is what I want. All right, so first thing I'm going to do is just combine these guys. Remember, this is just addition. All right, so an x and an x gives me 2 x's. Positive y and a negative y gives me 0. All right, so that's just nothing. I'll just leave that blank. Bring the equal sign down. And a 1 and a 3 gives me 4. So I've gotten rid of my y's, so now I can just go ahead and solve for x. So 2x equals 4, x equals 2. All right, and that's half the problem. Once I know what x is, I can plug x back into one of these equations and solve for y. So let's try that out. I'm going to use this top one. X equals 2, so I'm going to go 2. I'll put that in parentheses just so you know that that was the answer. Plus y equals 1. I want all numbers on this side of the equal sign and all variables on this side. So I'm going to subtract a 2 out on both sides. All right, and I'm left with y equals minus 1. So I've got x equals 2, y equals minus 1. So I'll just write it like this. 2, comma, negative 1. And that's my answer. Let's try another one. This is number 20. Number 20. X plus y equals 6. X minus y equals minus 2. Once again, they set it up for us real nice, so it makes it easy. All right, so all I'm going to do is put a line underneath. All right, x plus x, 2x. Positive y and negative y cancel each other out. I'm going to bring the equal sign down. 6 and negative 2 gives you 4. So once again, x equals 2. Divide the 2 out from here, gives you x. Divide the 2 out from here, gives you 2. Take this 2 and plug it back into one of these equations. It doesn't really matter which equation. I use the one with all the positives because I don't have to mess around with negative numbers. So once again, 2 plus y equals 6. All right. Subtract a 2 because remember I want all numbers on this side. Subtract a 2. Y equals 4. All right, and then just put it in my order. So x and y, basically, that's what I'm doing, if you're wondering. So x is first, so I've got 2, comma, and then the y is 4, and that's my answer. All right, now these two problems were pretty easy. They set it up for you. There was no numbers in front, so it made it pretty quick. But let's try one without that. So here, page 2. All right, number 25. Once again, I think this is still 8.1. So 4x plus 3y equals 15. And 2x minus 5y equals 1. Now here I have 4's and 2's. They're not going to cancel each other out. And here I have 3's and 5's. And they're not going to cancel each other out either. So what I need to do is I need to make one of these numbers, either the x or the y, the same as the top number. All right? Now, a 3 and a 5, that's going to give me a pretty big number to deal with. So I'm going to do this 2. I'm going to make this 2 a negative 4. A negative 4x. That way, these guys cancel out. Now, the way I do that, I'll put parentheses around the whole thing. I'm going to multiply the entire thing by a negative 2. So, negative 2 and 2x is negative 4x. Negative 2 and negative 5y is positive 10y. And negative 2 times 1 is negative 2. All right? Now, I'm going to pretty much forget about this, and I'm just going to add these two guys together. So let me just rewrite it to make it a little bit easier to look at. So 4x plus 3y equals 15. That's this equation. And then I'm going to put this one underneath it. So negative 4x plus 10y equals negative 2. All right. Now I can go ahead and do the same thing I did on the other page. Put a line underneath. Positive 4x and negative 4x, they cancel out. There's nothing there. 0. 10y and 3y is 13y. 15 and negative 2 gives you 13. All right. So y into 13. 13y into 13 gives you 1. All right. Once I know what y is, I can go ahead and take this and just plug it back into one of my equations. So let's use this one right here, this blue one right here. All right. 2x minus 5 times 1 equals 1. So 2x minus 5 equals 1. I want numbers on this side, so I'm going to add 5. 2x equals 6. X equals 3. Right? 2 divided into 2 gives me the x. 2 divided into 6 gives me 3. So my answer for this one is 3, 1. So this one we had to do one extra step. We just had to multiply this whole entire bottom to make this one into a 4x. Once we did that, then it just turned into normal adding and subtracting. Let's try another one. Page 3. All right, this is 27. 3x minus 4y equals 11. 2x plus 3y equals minus 4. Okay, so on this one I have 3x and 2x, 4y and 3y. So I can't multiply anything on the bottom to make it equal to the top, and I can't do the same over here. So in this case, I'm going to have to multiply both the top and the bottom equation by some number so I can get them to cancel out, basically. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply. We're going to get rid of these x's. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply the top by 2, and then I'm going to multiply the bottom by a 3. Actually, I'm going to multiply the top by negative 2. All right, that'll give me a negative 6x, and then down on the bottom, this will give me a positive 6x. Everything else will just follow along. All right, so let's rewrite these problems. Negative 2 and 3x is minus 6x. Negative 2 and negative 8 gives me positive 8y. Negative 2 and 11 gives me minus 22. All right, then I got to do the bottom. 3x, or 3 times 2x gives me 6x. 3 times 3 is a 9, so that's a 9y equals, and 3 times negative 4 is negative 12. Okay, so negative 6x and positive 6x, they're going to cancel out, and I'll be able to just add everything else together. So let's put a line underneath. 6x and negative 6x and 6x, they just go away, 0. 8 and 9y, that gives me 17y. And 22 and 12 gives me 34. So 17y into 34, y equals 2. Negative, this is a negative. Don't forget those signs, they'll mess you up. So positive 17y divided into negative 34 gives me a negative 2. Okay, once I know what y is, I can just plug it back into one of these equations and I'm done. So let's do this bottom equation because it's mostly positive. So 2x plus 3 times y is negative 2, equals negative 4. I'll put a little box around that. There we go. Okay, so 2x plus 3 times negative 2 is negative 6. I should have just put a negative there. So negative 6 equals negative 4. All right. I want to get rid of numbers on this side of the equal sign. So there's a negative there. I've got to add a 6, and I've got to add a 6 here. 2x equals 2. X equals 1. And then we just put it in its format again. So x is first, so 1, comma, y second, minus 2. That's your answer. All right. Number, what is this, page 4? Page 4. All right, this is number 35. 3x minus 2y equals minus 5. 4 You know what? That one's easy. Well, I'll do it anyways. 4x plus y equals 8. I was going to do one where I had to rearrange it. Let's just do this. Let's say this was, just so you can see. I'll go back to this problem in a second. Let's say you had y equals 3x minus 5 and 21x minus 35 equals 7y. All right, we want this to be in the format of x's, y's, z's equals numbers, but right here you can kind of see it's not in that format. So we got y and then we got x's on this side and with numbers. What we want to do is when you're doing these problems, if you come across something like this, you've got to get it in the right format first before you do all this. All right, so in this case what I would do is I want this 5 to be by itself, so I would subtract 3x so I can put it onto this side. So I would end up with negative 3x plus y equals minus 5. X, y on this side of the equal sign, numbers on this side. So this would be proper format. This one right here, same thing. See, I've got numbers on this side and x's, and then y's on this side. So what I would do on this one is take this 2x again, subtract it out, and throw it onto this side. So this would be, if I'm subtracting 21x on this side, it would be minus 21x. And then I'd have a positive y plus 7y equals minus 35. And I kind of just reshuffled it. Like if I was looking at this problem in reality, it would be minus 35 equals 7y minus 21x. It's the same thing. I just put it in a better format. So this is really the same thing as this. So don't get confused. All right. You might have something like that on the test. You might not, but just make sure you put it in that format first. All right. Sorry. Back to this. This guy right here, same thing. Negative 2y and a positive y. So the easiest thing for me to do here would be just to multiply this bottom by 2. All right, 2 times 4 is 8x. 2 times y is 2y. 2 times 8 is 16. Okay. From this point, then I can go ahead and just solve. My y's are going to cancel out. I'm going to be left with 8 and 3. So 11x equals 16 and 5. It's going to give me 11. X equals 1. All right. Now that I know x, I just plug it back into one of these. Let's use this one because it's a y by itself, or x. Never mind, I'll use x. 3, I'll use this top one. 3 times 1 minus 2y equals minus 5. 3 times 1 is 3. Minus 2y equals minus 5. I got to get rid of this guy, throw it onto the other side. So minus 3 minus 3. Negative 2y equals minus 8. Y equals 4. Negative and negative gives you a positive. So my answer is 1, 4. All right, last one. Last one, I think this is 8.2. Page 5. Number 5. 8.2 in your book, I think. X plus y plus 2z equals 11. X plus y plus 3z equals 14. And x plus 2y minus z equals 5. All right, first thing you want to do is make sure you don't get overwhelmed by the extra column. It's not really a big deal. It just causes us to do an extra step. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to solve for the z. See right here I have positives x and y and a positive x and y here. So I'm going to take these two and I'm going to solve for z basically. All right. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply this entire row by negative 1. All right. So I'm going to be left with x plus y plus 2z equals 11. All right. And then here I'm going to multiply everything by negative 1. So negative 1 times x gives me negative x. Negative 1 times y gives me negative y. Negative 1 times 3z gives me negative 3z. And negative 1 times 14 gives me negative 14. All right. X and negative x cancel out. Y and negative y cancel out. 2z and negative 3z gives me negative z. And 11 and negative 14 gives me negative 3. I can't have a negative z, so z equals 3. Basically, I just took the symbol and threw it over to the other side. Now that I know z, I can go ahead and solve for the other guys. All right. So next thing I'm going to do is I can plug this number into these guys, and then it basically turns into x and y's. That's what I'm going to do. All right, so let's try. X plus y plus 2 times z is 3 equals 11. And over here, x plus y plus 3z equals 14. All right, now I'm going to end up with some numbers on this side. What I'm going to do is I'm going to throw them onto this other side and then just solve for x, y. So 2 times 3 is 6. 3 times 3 is 9. And then I just bring it over to the other side. So let's rewrite these. X plus y equals negative 6 on this side, negative 6 on this side. So that's going to give me a 5, negative 5. I'm sorry, just a regular 5. And then over here I have 9 and 14. So I'm going to have x plus y equals, so I got to subtract 9 on this side, subtract 9 on this side, and that's going to give me 5. Okay. From this point, then you just turns into normal numbers, and you just solve from that point on. Hold on, someone's at the door.